Yes, hello and welcome to Club Prairie Fire, the home of tequila, Tabasco, and as you well know, the Duckworth-Lewis Stern system. It is a big hello and welcome for Season 5, actually, first episode of Season 5. Hope you enjoyed Season 4. That was one episode, and that was one hell of an episode, to be honest, boys, wasn't it, last week? All right, hey, I am the Professor. And I'd like to welcome you to the future of Club Prairie Fire, because for the very first time we are all in the same room together. We can touch each other, we can feel each other, we can smell each other, and these gentlemen, I tell you what, they smell absolutely wonderful indeed. Now, it is summer in Australia, which means it's cricket, and there is lots to talk about on this show. We've obviously got the Prime Minister's 11 taking on Pakistan, we've got England in the West Indies, we've got India heading down to South Africa. We've got there's new TV rights deals going on. The Big Bash starts, well, yesterday, in theory. And, of course, Mitch Johnson has given one of the all-time jabs to a former teammate. He's penned it in the West Australian, and we're going to be chatting all about that in this little show. Now, joining me, as always, is the cricket experts. It's the skipper, Michael Vaughan, and the wiki, Adam Gilchrist. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. Here we are. Look. This is a bit weird, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful to see you in person, gents.
Yeah.
Do you think the set's dark enough?
I think we could darken it up a touch. We are currently just floating heads, if you're listening. We've all worn black, and it's a very black room. Now, I'll chat to you boys in a sec, but let's bring in our very special guest. We are in Brisbane, in Australia, and that means one thing: get in one of Queensland's favourite sons. He's a man who played cricket for Australia, and he also coached them. Please welcome Darren Boof Lehmann.
Hey.
Boof. Thank you, gentlemen. Good to be here.
Welcome.
I'm glad you've come, Buff, because you've brightened up the studio.
We can see
Buff.
Buff.
We'd be like this. I thought,
You got your Queensland formal.
I have, yeah. It's Christmas.
The bright pink Okanuis.
You ain't even got any shoes on.
We are in Queensland.
I love it.
Don't need shoes here, Joe.
It's not a wedding. You know that.
Absolutely. Now, Boof, there is lots to talk about today, but let's start with, we all saw that on your birthday, that you got a present that you didn't really want.
Oh, heart attack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Old newspaper article.
I'm 3 years post-death.
How's that going for you? How's your health?
Well, it's good now, yeah. Yeah, when you get new tubes and everything going with the heart, it's quite good, and you actually live a normal lifestyle, not the lifestyle I lived before, which is let's say, quite loose.
Right. So you've tightened it right up and on a health
kick. I only
kick?
have a couple of beers a night instead of 15, 20, and no darts instead of a packet of darts. So,
yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
very
lot
good.
better now.
Now, Vaughany, you've just arrived.
Yes.
In Australia. How many days? 2?
Yeah, I've been here 2 days now.
How are you getting on? Are you
Very good. Enjoying Brisbane?
No jet lag?
No, a few pints at night generally gets rid of a little bit of jet lag. No, it's been nice. Looking forward to the game. Looking forward to a bit of cricket over the next few months. Watch the Pakistan team play the Prime Minister's 11. I must admit, if that's Australia's next generation of quick bowling, won't mind batting again, but...
Sorry, England are going so well, of course.
Yeah, just beating the West Indies, but they're back.
Yeah, they're back.
They're back.
It's won all that. I didn't know the Minnow nations had their qualifying tournaments so early.
It's already started.
Yeah, it's good of England to get straight into those qualifiers.
The captain's back. Nice innings. Not out, Joss Butler.
He can play. He's a good player.
He can play.
Yeah, did well in the World Cup.
What happened in that first match where they lost the West Indies?
Just
They
being
shouldn't
nice.
have lost?
No, just being nice.
Is that what it was?
West Indies cricket needs a little bit of a leg up at the minute.
I saw an interview with Harry Brook straight after, and they were chatting to him, and his discussion was about how bad the golf course was and in Antigua.
It's not great. It's not great in Antigua.
That will throw them.
They'll be better when they get to Barbados. You watch the way England play. They'll be on Apes Hill. They'll be on the Green Monkey. They'll play Royal Westmoreland. You watch the way that they bat.
Now, Sam Curran.
They'll be back.
Sam Curran, he's obviously made a fight back in the second ODI. He went for none for 98 in the first ODI, which is the worst bowling figures by an Englishman in the history of their ODI cricket.
Is it?
Yeah.
We've got him
Are
covered,
you
haven't we?
I think so. What's the worst Aussie
We're
one?
none for 110, is it?
Yeah, Zamps.
Zamps, that's right.
With Mickey Lewis, but old Baz DeLita.
Oh,
He
Bazzy,
hit the front in the World Cup.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Is that
117,
right?
I
You
reckon.
made that up?
No, I've stolen that from another podcast. This is what I do now. I just listen to podcasts on my drive. There's a very good one, Test Match Special, on the BBC. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I think they make things up on that as well.
Can you guess who the second worst figures are for England. I reckon you might have been playing in the game.
In
Not
ODIs.
Graham Onions?
No.
In ODIs.
In ODIs.
Dominic Cork?
No, big, tall bowler.
Steve Harmison.
There you go. Harmy.
Big Steve got
He was-
a few wayward, did he?
Yeah, none for 97
Surprise.
against Sri Lanka. It's a type of podcast we have.
That was
lots
at
of
Headingley.
facts.
Headingley, I was
That
there.
was
Were
at
you
Headingley,
playing?
yeah.
Who against?
No.
Joe Soria whacked him all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah, I think the Sri Lankans chased down 340 in about 37.
That's a good effort. I didn't like facing him. He was horrible.
Big Steve.
Big bounce, fast.
Yeah.
Now, there is lots to talk about, and I thought we'd get this one out of the way. I wanted to commend Cricket Australia for this new initiative on how to build a bit of suspense around this first match, getting Mitch Johnson to write that article. I thought it was very good of them. All of a sudden, there's interest in this first test match against Pakistan. Isn't that right? And I wanted to ask you, Vaughany,
What
right
did
off
he
the
say?
bat. Well, we'll chat about that. See what was in the text messages. I would like to know that. You're pretty close to Pakistan, right? You know the inner workings, and there's a bit of stuff going on there with selection at the moment.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Do you think we could get Mitch Johnson selected for the Pakistan side?
Well, in the last few weeks, they've got Wahab Riaz is the chair. They appointed, I think, Cameron Atmel. He's part of the selection group. Salman Butt, he lasted a day. He was a selector, and a day later he was sacked. How do you get sacked as a selector when you've not even selected a team? That's a
Pick
good
the
effort.
wrong coffee order.
That is a good effort. So Salman's gone. Who else is involved? They seem to have quite a few people involved, but look, there's always a bit of chaos around Pakistan. They played well against the Prime Minister's, well, not surprising against that bowling attack, but they're doing all right in that game. So they'll arrive in Perth. I think the wicket might be slightly different to the one that I'm seeing them face.
Yeah.
It's in Canberra, isn't it?
Yeah.
Manica Oval.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they'll get the same kind of turf in Perth.
Now, does anybody want to comment on the Mitch Johnson article? Do you all
Well,
want
I think I've got the best way
Yeah.
for the resolution is quite simple. Just a net session.
No, I'd go beyond
George
that.
and Davey pad it up. Mitch, being retired for a little bit longer, can overstep by a couple of metres.
He's still fit and quick, though.
Yeah, and angry.
No, I think there's a better way than that. You know, what's the modern thing that's happening in the world of boxing? YouTubers, big fights.
Yeah. Well, the other one
What about
is...
that
But
fight?
you can't do that, Mitchell Johnson.
Johnson versus Warner.
Yeah, he'll tear him apart.
Who? Sorry, who's going to tear who apart?
Well,
Mitch will
Mitch
tear
will
them all
tear
apart.
Dave
He's a
apart?
black belt, isn't he, Mitch?
Yeah, and his wife's even more highly ranked in karate. I think
Well,
she's
she's not
well.
what, is she
Oh,
in
hang
as
on,
well?
that's not a bad
Oh,
shout.
I'll take. Oh, now we're
I see where
talking.
you're
Yeah,
going.
well,
Now we're talking. Yeah, the
Tag team.
couples, the
Yeah.
couples tag team in the ring.
coming off the ropes.
What an
Or-
would you pay for that?
Yes.
I would.
I think they get more to that
would you pay
than
for
they
that?
will the Perth Test.
No.
You would
Or-
pay for that?
No.
You would.
Or
$20.
Mitch and Candice have both been on the SAS.
Oh yeah.
Send them all out a la jungle type thing, or get Ant Middleton to take them out, the SAS boys.
That's not a bad shout. Just see if they all survive. Is that what you're saying? Or
Yeah, see who does walk through the door at the end. Only one person can get through the door.
Because Davies, he's had a.
Oh, he's a good scrapper.
He's had the odd. I think Joe Root landed.
Yeah.
You know, one on the.
Having said to your Boof, come on the show, it's light-hearted chat, and we won't mention any of this, you were coached through that period of time. You won a World
This is a
Cup.
setup, isn't it?
no,
With us.
no, that's your mate Gilly. This is not me.
You've
boss.
got to know what's going on, mate. What's going on? Come on.
Well, I know a bit, but I'm not going to say it here, am I?
Well, you're not going to say it anywhere else.
There's no point, is there? I mean, they're too old enough to, they can sort it out. You know, have a phone
weird,
call
isn't it?
and have a chat, and whatever's said should stay between those two, and that's probably the only thing that sort of... I think Mitchell Johnson said he went a bit far, didn't he, with the attack in the paper about sandpaper, etc. But, you know, they played it. You never saw that when we were coaching or playing. They were both competitive and they got on well.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is, it was reported that Mitchell Johnson was going to be taken off commentary. Now, you know, he isn't, which I think is right. He's allowed his opinion, whether you agree with it or not. He's allowed his opinion. It'll make for that first morning in Perth quite interesting. Is he working for Triple M?
Yes.
Are they allowed on the pitch?
I would say so, yeah.
So that'll be good. That'll be
that
good
is
for the
good.
event.
I'd say what has changed in this era is so much of past players commenting because they go into commentary, and that's part of the role, like you guys. And players in our day, it was only pen to paper, wasn't it? So you sort of took it with a grain of salt. They're entitled to opinion. Now it's 24/7, isn't it? The media. So you've got to accept it as a player. It's really, really hard, I suppose, because it's 24/7. It just keeps going. It's like the gift that keeps giving at the moment with past players having a comment on it.
Yeah, and then what happens is the past players like us have a comment, and then social media gets involved, and they have their comments, and
Rolls
people
on.
back home. And
Now,
when it used to last a day, it now lasts a week.
oh, it does.
Yeah.
Well, that's
and
the
then
news
we
cycle.
talk about it,
That's
so it
right.
carries on for even longer.
Now, Vaughany, as an Englishman, do you like seeing two Aussies tear each other apart over sandpaper gate? Because normally that's the English press's job to bring it up, as opposed to former Australian cricketers.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I mean, it's been quite an interesting week to watch. I don't remember, I mean, you tell me in the history of Australian cricket, I don't remember a fallout between two players so publicly like this one.
Well, not since. Well, certainly not in Australia.
I mean,
it's been. We were well led by the English.
Yeah.
And the English stroke South Africans.
Yeah.
Like KP did a wonderful hit job on his captain.
Yeah.
So before you get too righteous about this, let's just remember
Well,
who
let's just go back to that. So
invented the game and then invented attacking teammates.
Well, we've recreated the game. Bazball has recreated the game, so let's not forget
Hey,
about that.
Remember, Max Ball's going to supersede that.
Yeah.
So,
Maxi to open in
No,
Test
but
cricket.
it
Gilly.
brings up. It brings
What do you reckon, Buff?
I don't mind.
Yeah, how fun would that be to watch? No, but it does bring to mind some of the great cricket feuds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so KP Straussy, what was he doing? Texting the
Well, he
opposition
texts
on
South
how to get
Africa
him.
and apparently
KP Swan.
Was KP texting the opposition on how to
Texting
get
the
Strauss?
opposition.
KP and Brody, KP and Jimmy.
KP and Vaughany.
I get on with KP. I find him quite amusing.
Yeah, sending the opposition the tactics on how to get your captain out.
I mean, Strauss, it wasn't that hard. I mean, he probably just said, just ball straight. He was playing fucking shit at the time.
So Jeffrey Boycott do that, the Aussies?
Yeah, that's what Bacchus used to say.
Sit next to Jeffrey and he give you all the inside info.
He wanted his teammates to fail to make him look better.
Is that right?
What other...
You had-
No, the greatest feud in cricket, it's Chappelli and Beefy.
Yes.
The documentary.
Oh, last year when they just sat in a room.
It was like this room, wasn't it?
It was.
A
like a
darkened
dungeon.
room just staring at each other.
There wasn't too much laughter.
That was,
maybe we can get-
that was colder than the ice bath we were in this morning.
Yeah, I reckon that's the billing. I reckon we get a big event. So the Optus is a big stadium. We get Warner and Candice. What's Mitchell's wife called? Jess and Mitch. And then before that, you've got Botham and Chappelli. Yeah, they're the undercard.
That's very good.
They go on first.
And then we bring out the big tag team. I
Yeah.
love it. Did you have any, when you were playing, was there any player that publicly you went or privately for a...
Not really. A lot
No?
of people went at me because I was fat and bald, but apart from that, I wasn't worried about it.
Is that still the case, Buff?
Yeah, still the case.
Still the case.
Yeah, just everyone goes at you when you're
They do. Surely,
a bit overweight.
surely you had someone.
No, not really. Nah.
Gilly?
No, I had one or two spats on the pitch, but nothing publicly.
I used to get angry at him when he used to block him like Boycott for a while, and then he became this debonair, eccentric, stroke playing English batsman.
That's true. Buffer gave me the best piece of advice as a young player. I think I got 70 odd against Middlesex at Headingley, and I'd faced Tufnell, my mate, blocked the shit out of him. And I thought I'd played well. I was in the dressing room, taking my pads off, quite cock a hoop. The ball had been seaming around, so it wasn't an easy pitch. And then Buff came up to me and he said, I'm going to give you one piece of advice when the spinners come on. There's no fielders in the car park. He says, when the spinners come on next time, fucking whack them in the car park.
Very good. Now, the main reason Mitch went him, and I wanted to ask you guys this as well, was because Dave has set a date for his last match. About 6 months out, he said, look, I'd like to finish in Sydney, which would be lovely. We've seen a lot of farewells in Sydney, obviously famously Steve Waugh, when Vaughany and McGrath finished up. Their time in Sydney was amazing. What do you think about him setting the date?
Who else retired that day?
Langer.
There you go. He
Sorry,
always gets left off. It's always McGrath and Warren.
Sorry.
And
the little fella behind him.
Andy Caddick played his last game in Sydney.
And Andy
You
Caddick.
forgot that, didn't you?
I was about to get to Andy
Yeah.
Caddick.
That would have been that game, wouldn't it?
He
Was
didn't
it?
realise it was his last game. There's a difference.
Now, first of all, what do you think about him setting it 6 months out? And second of all, do you wish you had done that at the end of your careers?
I didn't have a choice. I got told to piss off. That was fair enough too. I was old. What do I think about it? Setting dates are a hard one because you've got to perform over that period of time. So the selection issue is always going to raise is this some of the right time to actually blood a younger player because of the opposition they're going to face in Pakistan and the might of the West Indies? It might be the right time, but he's certainly played well over a period. In Australia, his record is unbelievable. There's no doubt about that. England, you'd probably say not so good. So it really depends which way they wanted to go to the selection panel. They're obviously made the decision they're going to play him. Whether he makes it, I would think he'd have to still make runs in the first test or second test, I would think, to get
that'd
there.
be a brave call, wouldn't it? So he plays in Melbourne and then, sorry, Dave.
One to go.
Sorry, Dave,
Surely
you're not playing in Sydney. Oh, I think it's brave to announce anything that's, 6 months in cricket is a long time. And to do it so kind of far away from your ending. Sometimes when you see a player announce the finish, their performance levels start to drop because they've gone on to something new. But you have to say Warner, his performance levels in the World Cup, yes, different format, but different conditions as well. But he certainly looks like he's got that
He's got the
mojo.
hunger. Looks like he's got the hunger.
And I would say that David Warner, if he doesn't get 100 in Perth, I will be amazed. I will say that early. He's just got that kind of inner dogfight. And he's a street fighter, he's a competitor, he's playing well enough and he loves Australian conditions, so I'd be amazed if he doesn't get runs in Perth.
And your ending, Vaughany, do you wish you'd said I'll be done in 6 months?
Well, I was trying to get to the end of the 6 months, but I didn't fucking survive that long. I had to go. Knee was knackered, had enough, yeah. I wouldn't have been brave enough to say 6 months.
What was your last test?
South Africa, Edgbaston.
And was there more games to come, or was that the end of the series?
No, there was one more game to go. We went 2-0 down in the series. Was it a 4-match series or a 3? 4-match series. Yeah, Smithy got us at Edgbaston with 100.
Yeah.
He was out on 40. LBW Monty.
Yeah.
Fucking dead.
Should we go back?
And I wasn't out, by the way. Andre Nell got me caught behind. I didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Big Andre Nell on that awful action that he
Looks
has.
like you got over it.
I feel really
I'm still disgusted by it.
I feel really sorry for you.
Can
No,
you
it wasn't out.
tag that if you're watching this and we'll make our decision as to whether or not...
Yeah, Ollie's Ollie there. Ollie usually said
Sorry,
not out.
actually.
Ollie,
Why
where are
is it
you?
here?
Before we get to Gilly, there is a fourth member of this team, Boof.
Who is it?
His name's Ollie, another Englishman. He's our producer, but he couldn't make it to Brisbane. Boys, he got detained at the airport.
You did start the show saying that we were all here.
Yeah,
well, we're not actually.
Oh, are you there? I'm very sorry, Ollie.
Talking of being dropped.
He's not there.
Ollie!
Thanks. Yeah, they just 42 minutes before we get into the social update. That's what I'm here for. And they have been kicking off. I'm gutted I'm not there. Love that the hats are going at the moment. The hats are loved. Joel Vasori wants one. That was one Instagram message. And his mate, Nash Wirika, has even designed a new logo, which I can share there, the Club Prairie Fire.
Oh, I like that. That looks all right.
Gilly with stumps. So a fair bit's going on there in socials. And one other thing that commented was, Vaughany, your food selection in the lounge, we need an explanation. You shared a picture of it. And again, for those listening, what we've got is a bowl of nuts, a poppadom, penne meatballs, and a lamb shank with a white wine.
No, that's
might
a
be
lie.
really dinner.
That's a lie. It's a steak. It wasn't a lamb shank.
Very eclectic.
Yeah, well, you just go a bit nuts, don't you, in the lounge and just fancy a little bit of everything. More importantly, Ollie, can you just check that Andre Nell dismissal that I wasn't out? Just check that, Ollie.
Yeah, just looking now, you definitely didn't hit it. No schnicko there at all.
Are you going to be back later in the show for your quiz? People love the quiz, mate.
Yeah, back on the quiz, and it's all about Boof as well, so it should be a cracker.
Ollie, can you just check with England winning today? Have they gone up the rankings?
They've gone up our rankings, and that's what matters the most. But it takes a couple of hours to work out the ICC. But a good win, fully deserved.
It was remiss of us not to mention the caps. Ollie, we got one here for you, mate. We'll get it down here. And Buffo, you can have one too, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Great
Thank you very much.
ceremony there, I think.
Cover up that shiny Swede.
There's nothing wrong with that, all right?
Yeah.
Chicks dig it. Means we've got more testosterone, Buff. And in the olden days, the women in villages, they'd look for blokes like us because we were more fertile. Virile. Doesn't matter. One of the two. All right, hey, thanks.
Hey,
Ollie.
I reckon, just for what it's worth, I think Davey didn't say that's when I'm going to retire.
Oh, okay.
He says, I'd like to, if I get there, retire then. So obviously,
I think you're right, actually, because he did say...
He mentioned selectors a number of times. I went back and had a look at that.
Oh, very
and
good.
he meant, if selected, if the selectors feel that I'm, so I think that's probably been lost a little bit in the detail, is that he didn't say, I'm definitely retiring then.
Yeah, it generally gets lost a bit these days on podcasts like this one.
But I tell you, just again, a bit like the two retirement stories of you guys, I made the decision to retire in the time it takes for a ball to hit your hands and then to hit the ground when you drop a catch. That was how quickly I came to... See, I dropped VVS Flaxman.
Which time?
Yeah, so I turned around. Lucky I didn't do it in the first time I dropped it, otherwise I would have had a one-game career. But dropped the catch, turn around, the replay for the 38th time on the big screen. I reckon the crowd had seen it. They didn't need to see it again. I said to Haydos at first slip, I'm done, I'm out, I'm finished. And he goes, oh, come on, mate. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's not the first one you've dropped, it won't be the last. I said, fuck off, mate.
By the way, I'm glad you've mentioned Haydos. He's bigger than ever.
Bigger than last time we mentioned it.
Mate, he's bigger than ever, yeah.
We called him
Have you
Big
seen him
Boofs.
recently?
Size?
Phew, he's gone big.
Is he?
Yeah, he's big. Like,
Really?
Big.
I'll tell you who's big. This Paul Walter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Tall Paul.
so-
Tall Paul.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a big
pants. Wait till you see his pants. You should see his shins. I haven't got long enough pants for him. It's unbelievable.
How big is he? 6'7", 6'8"?
Oh, yeah. He's a good player.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
So he's
I'm
playing...
trying to tell him off. Mate, just hit it out of the ground. That's what you do well. And he sort of looks down there. Who are you little dwarf? Oh, God.
Oh, so that's something to look out for in the Big Bash, isn't it?
Yes, which
Paul
is
Walter's trousers.
Yeah.
That's what we've all got to keep an
Well,
eye
we'll
on.
have a
Forget how
field
well
day
he
with
plays.
those.
Let's just study his pants.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, that is why you guys are here in Brisbane and why I followed you up. You are here to, let's do this because it's actually going out tomorrow, so we've got to fake that we're doing it tomorrow. You were here yesterday.
Great result for the Brisbane Heat overnight.
Well done. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, we're really
I
happy.
thought you kept Maxi quiet.
The Heat taking on the Stars last night.
Yep. And the Big Bash train is off and running.
It is.
And
It
you'll
is.
see every single ball on Fox Cricket.
And what about Paul Walters' trousers?
Yeah.
How small are they?
How's Boof championship winning coach?
What are you talking
Previously?
about? Is he
Big Bash.
Oh, Big Bash. Yeah, I'm looking forward to
What's
it.
the vibe around? Is there
Vibe's good, mate.
the
Yeah.
shortened version, 10 games, not 14?
Players do like the 10 games.
Yeah.
I would even think you could cram it a little bit more,
Condense
if
it.
possible, to keep the couple of overseas players at the back end might have to go and play national cricket, etc. So you'd love to see them in the finals, but I like the concept of a shorter tournament. We've got 3 games in 5 days, and then the Perth Test doesn't have any Big Bash games on, obviously with Fox. So I think it's good for the game. I like the shortened tournament. I think it could be done even shorter though.
So not less games, but just cram it in tighter.
Cram it in further. I think.
I reckon a week less.
If you had a week less, you'd actually keep everyone here for the whole time, and that's what we want. The best players staying here the whole time.
Does it finish before the end of school holidays?
Yeah, it
Yes.
does.
Yeah, that's
Before
January
Australia,
20 that's great.
24th, 5th.
and then Brisbane starts 25th. And
So is the issue players, like, do we need to start it a week later or finish it a week earlier?
Finish it a week earlier.
To keep the players here,
Yeah.
and then they can go and do the...
And that'd be fantastic. I think
T5s
everyone
or-
would love that. T10 or
T5.
whatever's on. Yeah,
It'll be coming up soon.
T2 will be soon. So I think if they could do that, it'd make an unbelievable tournament.
In fact, that's a concept. Don't even have the tournament.
Well, what
It's getting that short.
Yeah.
Just pay the players. They don't even bother coming.
You could
Well,
just do...
if you actually study the schedule, it finishes before Bazball starts again, so it's clever.
Should we do some predictions? Big Bash predictions? people?
Scorches.
Heat.
Very good. That was a good segment. A bunch of stuff here. All right, let's move on. Our Prime Minister's 11. Do we want to chat some of that? As we've obviously got at the moment this tussle between the 3 cricketers to see who will perhaps replace David Warner. They haven't actually had a bat yet.
Yeah.
Bancroft,
Renshaw and Harris.
I would have liked to see. Here, I'll have a crack at
Go
selection
for it.
here. I would like to see those guys play Big Bash, not the Australia A.
Yeah.
How's that for a
I'm-
different one? Because I'm going, Pakistan are only doing it for a training run. That's what happens these days anyway. So they'll bat twice. Our blokes will probably have to bowl twice anyway. They might get 1 hit. And that's about it. Where the Big Bash should be a better scenario for the crowd and fans alike.
Yeah, that should have been a development 11 the next rung down. And you mentioned, Vaughany, what you thought the lack of bowling depth for Australia. There's a number of our next rung of bowlers not playing. Like Michael Neser didn't play. Lance Morris is in the squad.
Scotty Boland. You got plenty
So
of
there's a number of guys that would be in the international setup before that group of players there. But, I'm stunned that it has ambushed the start of the Big Bash. And Brisbane Heat felt the wrath as much as anyone.
Next game we feel the wrath.
Yeah.
So we lose
two games.
Usman and Marnus after yesterday's game.
Yeah.
We've lost them after they played really well. They were good. They were good last night. They were good.
How good was the commentary?
Oh, unbelievable.
It was really good.
Usman captained well, led well. Marnus did his thing. But we lose those two. So with the Australian A players, I think we've got to have 5 replacement players for game 2.
That's tough.
To kickstart
that's
what is
hard.
going to be the showpiece event, really. Of the
That's
summer.
when it's down to 10 games as well.
Yeah. So I think if they actually asked every BBL franchise who you're not playing in the first game, for example, the first couple of games, you would have come up with a pretty decent side. And I went through it and picked it and I went, oh, that's not a bad side.
Now, on that, Anthony Albanese on the coverage yesterday actually said that he was involved in the selection process. Is that
Yeah, they
legit?
get involved.
Does he sit down and want him, don't want him?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bobby Hawke probably resurrected it. I think Menzies way back loved it, and then it fell by the wayside for quite a while. And then Bob Hawke loved his cricket, and then Johnny Howard obviously got involved too. I actually had my one and only bowl in a reasonably serious match in Australia in the Prime Minister's 11. Dan Marsh was bowling, tore his calf, so someone had to finish 2 balls of his over, and young Sean Klingleffer was playing, so young up-and-coming keeper, so I let him keep. So I thought I'll just close the over out, jam 2 Yorkers in, just with my little underspinners, not dissimilar to Hong Kong Sixers over there when I closed that match out against Hong Kong.
You got Harvey's to sing it?
Yeah. And so I gave myself 1 extra over.
What was that?
And Darren Ganger hit me for 3 sixes.
What was that first game
Which
that
is
England
no
used to
mean
play? When they used to tour back in the...
Lilac Hill.
Lilac Hill.
Yeah, he used to play that.
Yeah.
That went well for him.
that used to be a difficult game.
Was it?
It used to be a tough
weren't
game.
sober?
It used to be a difficult game for the lads.
It was a festival game.
Yeah. It's when DK Lilly used to bowl him out when he was about 75. Get the 5
PM's game, John Howard was PM, I was captain, and my twins were born. So I was in the hospital, I had to ring him and say, mate, I can't get there and captain. My wife wouldn't have been very happy with me if I left. So
Did Johnny take the news okay? Or?
he was fine, but I was gutted.
Big news for Nathan Lyon.
Yeah.
He's obviously been listening to you on this podcast. Do you want to tell Boof your theory on what makes an amazing batsman, an amazing bowler?
They were trying to tell me that Virat Kohli was a great player. And I said, how can he be deemed a great if he's not got 100 in Yorkshire on a Tuesday night? He's never got 100 in Yorkshire on a Tuesday night, Buff. You know, in those sticky dog leagues in Bradford, in Huddersfield, Sheffield. So Virat's never done that, so he can never be deemed a great. In the bowling department, I said you can only be deemed great if you've got a fifer in Scarborough, having been to Shade's Wine Bar, whatever the nightclub was called, and you've had a kebab at what's it called? Berlin's nightclub. And then you stumble out and you go and get a kebab and you get a five for the next day. Garlic sauce, lots of it. Chili, yeah, absolutely.
I've been there.
And by the way,
no, shock me.
And by the way, as you're stumbling out of the kebab, you notice the casino, and you go and have half an hour in the casino. If you've got a five,
Grosvenor Casino.
There you go.
There you go.
And if you get the five for the next day, you're a great bowler. There's not many that have done it.
So what of those two achievements have you secured?
None. Didn't play league cricket.
No, you've got 100 in Yorkshire on a Tuesday, though.
Yeah, I've got 100 at Yorkshire, and I have covered off Shades, Berlin's Casino, kebab in the one night.
But every night you were there.
Then got 100 the next day.
Yeah.
That was, and I shouldn't have got 100
Would
the
you
next
have
day.
got a five for in Scarborough, Buff?
I don't know. No.
Didn't they?
This will be good. This will be good.
This
is insider trading coming up here, lads.
Now that we're talking about your time at Yorkshire and Scarborough, they had it often after nights like that. They had trouble with the covers, didn't they?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I thought someone told me once that there was always an issue that
It's windy. It's windy in
right,
Sky. It's just off the ground. If you've anyone that's watching or listening, the ground is just off the kind of beach.
It's an angle, isn't it?
Yeah, and
we
now
would
and
get
again,
under there.
the wind blows through the gates, and the kind of wind takes the covers away from the pitch every now and again.
Yeah, most Friday nights.
Particularly when Yorkshire are losing a game.
How will Nathan Lyon go there? His teammate, Jimmy Anderson. Which
So,
is
yeah, he's
very
Lancashire, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, the wrong side
Yeah.
of the Pennines. So he'll be fine. He'll go okay.
He'll be right.
He'll enjoy the cold, the wet.
Will
Manchester.
Manchester embrace him? He's proper Aussie. Like,
Yeah, I think they will, yeah. I mean, they need a coach, actually. Boof.
there you go.
No?
The insider trading again.
Another big scoop.
Yeah.
Darren Lehmann.
No,
I
he'll
wonder
go-
if
he'll
he'll
go-
roll out. If he'll roll out in the trainers, like was he?
Oh, was he? Were you playing when Wasim Bold was out in his trainers?
My first game for Yorkshire, I was 12th man. Remember that at Old Trafford? Wasim Akram was both overseas were 12th man. Wasim was at 12th man and I was 12th man.
You got signed as an overseas pro,
I was 12th man.
and they made you.
And I had to run on the side of the ground. You fat bastard! You fat bastard! Who ate all the pies? I just copped that from the Lancashire faithful, and I'm going because I looked at the wicket and I went, "Oh my God, they're not getting me out in this." Captain Dave Bias came up and he said, "What do you reckon?" I said, "Bat first, and I'll get him." He said, "Well, batting first. You're not playing."
See, that's how you get treated at Yorkshire.
Why?
Amazing.
Well, he's got to earn his stripes.
There
Got to earn his
was only
stripes.
one good thing. That in those days, you had if it rained, you had to come back and finish the game next day, and it rained. So I had a night out in Manchester, and I came home
Knew you weren't
the
playing.
next morning. Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah.
What's the main joint in Manchester you're going to back in the day when you're a cricketer?
Oh, I can't remember.
Living room.
Living room?
Yeah,
Living
been-
room.
Hacienda was
Nah,
that?
that was 80s. Living room. Used to have to go. They had like cupboards that you could buy a bottle, so you could have a tequila bottle on a Thursday. Maybe not finish it. Don't know why, but maybe you haven't. You just put it in your cupboard. Put it in your cupboard. Come
Like a
back.
locker?
Come back. Yeah. You got your tequila locker in the living room.
That's very good.
good pubs in England.
Did you know? I read something that it's recommended that if you should consume your tequila within 2 months of having opened it, which never seems to survive that long in my house.
No.
But yeah, I didn't know that. You know, like Scotch, you can have it open
Yeah.
and
Oh, you should consume it within 2 months.
within 2 months.
It's not a problem for you.
No.
I would have said days.
Fun fact there for the tequila lovers.
Hours.
2 hours.
Now, Buff, we've got a big following in India.
Just
Man.
quietly, just
sorry, yeah.
just back on the county scene.
yeah,
Buff.
sorry.
What do you reckon the best tour was? Best away trip? Scarborough was good, wasn't it?
Scarborough.
That's a home game for Yorkshire, but
Yeah.
Worcester?
Was not bad. They're all pretty good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I just enjoyed myself, so it didn't matter. I wasn't going back to Yorkshire. I was only playing 1 year. So I said, I'm going to have as much fun as I possibly can, and I did.
Was Wayne Clark coach that year?
No. Who was coach? An old fella.
Doug Padgett?
Doug
Padge,
He
yeah.
drove me down to my first game as 12th man. It was fantastic. Yeah, Padge, he was a great fella.
Yeah, he's the coach that Anthony McGrath when he first played for the Seconds.
Now, there is the funniest man I ever played with.
Yeah.
You've got to get him on the show.
Yeah.
Who is it, sorry?
Anthony McGrath.
Okay.
No, but he's bored now because he's a coach and he didn't want to say anything. And he's scared of saying anything. But
Now-
it's a true story. Doug Padgett was taking him to play at Cardiff, and he gets him to just the border, England to Wales, and he pulls up and he says to Anthony, and I was with Doug in the car. He said, "Oh, have you got your passport?" And Mouse goes, "Well, you're only 17." Well, no. Oh, you have to get in the boot. put him in the boot of the car and drive him over the bridge.
This is one of the funniest, man. We used to have the Yorkshire snipper, which you've covered off in the show, I presume, already, but you put your jocks on, they'd be cut in half so they'd go up to your armpits. And no one really knew who it was. It was multiple people, but...
Someone in the team was the
Someone's in the
Yorkshire
team.
snipper.
Snipping
Yorkshire
the socks.
snipper, the socks, and you pull your socks up and they go right to your knee. But then it started to get a bit silly. You'd be out there batting, you come back and you get in your car at night and you couldn't drive your car because it's on bricks, tyres were gone, or your radio was a click out, that was gone. I remember one day I batted beautifully for Yorkshire, got 100 or so in a one-day game at Taunton. My wife was pregnant, so I had to drive back that night, got in my car, rushed off, we won the game, beautiful, start driving and just get going, light up a durry, ready to go, drive on them 3 or whatever it is up there, and I thought I'll put the radio on. There's no radio. 6 hours of silence.
Yeah.
What, they've taken it out?
Yeah.
Taken it out, yeah.
Did you ever work out who it was?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, we knew it was. And then they'd put your car for sale in Auto Trader.
Yeah.
I think
And put your mobile number in there. So your mobile, just going all day. Hello, is that four Cortina still for sale?
I actually learned a lot of those boys, and I
Yeah.
did sell one of my players' cars here in Australia once. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He spiked my drink. He put vodka in
Yeah.
a beer or whatever it was. It might have been tequila. And I caught him just by chance. And I said, no problems. It's all right, easy. So I went to the IPL and I made sure I signed up his card just before I left on, in the paper, the classified ads.
Yeah.
And I told Chris Lynn about it. I said, make sure you take him for breakfast on this date. This is when I come out. And his phone just didn't stop ringing all day and he couldn't work it out. And then he finally clicked, yeah.
But that got carried over because your former teammate at Yorkshire, to the two of you, Whitey, your brother-in-law, Boof.
Yep.
Remember him coming out to bat in the Boxing Day test against us, and he'd walked into our change room and flogged your shoes.
No, he flogged my shoes out of my garage, ready to go. My stockpile of Nikes I had ready to go. My batting shoes, he walks out in the bloody test match at Gabba with my shoes on. It was unbelievable.
You got me shoes on, you wanker.
Who was that? Who's your brother-in-law?
Craig White.
Craig White. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good move.
Well, one of the best ones. Were you playing at Aberdale that time? Aberdale Park. So you used to play a 4-day game, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but then you'd have to travel on a Sunday to a 40-over John Player league game, come back on the Monday to finish the 4-day. And on the Saturday, it's boiling hot in Sheffield. And Anthony McGrath had got this watch, and one of the lads had snipped his strap. So he's pissed off. He's fucking no. Who was it? A kid called Alex Morris was playing in the team. Lad from Barnsley, bonkers. Mags goes to my brother, who lived in Sheffield, said, I want a massive piece of haddock, huge piece of haddock. Right, delivers a piece of haddock to McGrath. At the end of the day, he puts the haddock in Alex Morris's pads. And bearing in mind, the next day we're playing in colours, so you're leaving your white pads in Sheffield, we're coming back on the Monday. He puts the pad in his old coffin, shuts the lid. Sunday's the hottest day Sheffield's ever had. So you imagine, pad, haddock, hot weather, Sheffield, we're in Leicester playing cricket. We arrive back on the Monday, walk in the dressing room, well, fuck me.
Someone put a fish in his pad and he got LBW Alan Donald. Squat fish all over. Oh, that was good.
Do you think any of this happens anymore?
No,
Imagine how good this TV series The Test would be if this is the stuff
that was going on. Yeah.
Who was it that filled a boot with a load of apples? Who was that? That was in Scarborough.
I remember. You
They
remember
opened
Scarborough?
the boot.
In Scarborough, you used to have these crabs, the half crabs. And Anthony McGrath and Gavin Hamilton, who played for Scotland and England, they put it under, they play tricks on each other all the time. And he managed to unhook the tyre and put a few crabs in there and then put some under the front seat and all that. And Gav would come in and go, oh, yeah, found them beautiful. Another hot day at Scarborough. He comes back the next day. He can't find it anywhere. They're locked under the wheel.
Man.
He's got to untie it and it stunk. I think he had to sell the car, actually.
Punter was a serious prankster, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Early doors, before being captain. Remember at the Commonwealth Games, we were in like
Dorms.
3-bedroom sort of, I wouldn't call them villas.
Oh, dorms.
Yeah, but...
We got in trouble for that,
Central
didn't we?
living area, but 3 bedrooms. So anyway, Punter would always get home early, well, not early, first, and just set booby traps around. So he had the good old-fashioned water bucket above the door so that whoever was next in opens it and it just falls and just water goes everywhere. And then in his bedroom you hear this.
Short sheet of beds, wouldn't he? And all that.
Mate, he was...
Childish.
Hey, Ol's got something for you. He's just sent me a text. What do you got, Ol, for Boof?
We're just talking about his innings, and there's an article in the Yorkshire Post, Boof's best ever innings in Yorkshire. Number 3, 191 versus Nottinghamshire at Scarborough. And he says, we just won the championship for the first time for many years and have been partying for a few days. I was still slightly inebriated, and to walk out after not sleeping for about 2 days and back like that, it was something I wouldn't advise the kids to do in terms of preparation. But I was so relaxed for obvious reasons, I hit everything. And that's it. That is Boof in Scarborough.
Was that on a Tuesday, Al?
Well, I think the party started on Tuesday, but I think it was the Thursday.
Very, very good. Hey, I was just going to say before, we're very big in India, Boof.
Oh, yeah, you were. Sorry.
Love the show. And they're about to take on South Africa, so we do need to just chat about them quickly.
Well, they convincingly won the T20 series, didn't they?
They did.
4-1, was it?
Is it test matches or one?
There's three
one-days.
3 ODIs, 3 T20s,
Yeah.
and 2 Test matches.
Yeah, so I was referring to the ones against Australia. But did anyone watch that?
No,
No?
that was a nothing series.
No.
No, we
The
weren't.
test matches won't be. India will win them against South Africa quite comfortably, I would think. Yeah. One days might be a bit different.
One days there's no Virat, no Rowett, and no Bavuma, no Rabada. So they're all
no India.
Yeah, pretty
Pretty
much.
good players.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They've got
And
lots
for
of replacements, of course. There's no doubt about that. But
I think India will win everything over there.
everything.
Yep. That's
40.
I think South Africa will get them in one-day cricket, 50 overs. I think India will just be a little bit lapsed after the World Cup. Test cricket, I think they'll win easy.
what do you think of that pitch of the World Cup? We've covered that off, I suppose, already in this show.
Yeah.
We have. Do you want to make any comment on the World Cup? Any?
Oh, I loved it.
Perfect.
Is that right?
Yep, very good. Concise.
Is that it?
Hey, Boof, you are running out of time, seriously. And we have written, Ol has been up all night writing a quiz
Right, okay.
on his favourite Yorkshire batsman. So I will hand over to Ollie for
Well,
the
I've got to
quiz.
answer these or not?
No, he'll explain how it works.
Okay.
He's very good at this.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do exactly that. So, but this is all about you. Bit of trivia, and it's all about your statistics against the boys in the studio. So we'll start off with question number 1. What is higher, Boof's Test batting average, Gilly's first-class batting average, or Vaughany's first-class bowling average?
Is this for me?
all of us.
All three of you answer.
What's the highest?
Yeah, what's higher?
Oh, it's got to be my bowling
Yeah,
average,
your
hasn't
bowling average.
It's got to be.
I reckon.
First class?
First class bowling average, Ol?
Correct.
Oh, yeah, it's me. Me.
Yeah, I reckon Vaughany.
Yeah, I'll go Vaughany.
Okay, we've got Boof's Test batting 44.95, Gilly's first-class batting 44.16, Vaughany's first-class bowling 46. It is Vaughany just.
It's not bad, actually.
close, yeah.
That's not bad.
It's a lot better than I thought yours would be.
Yeah, correct.
What was that Boof's, your test average, was it?
Test average, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you drop for?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see him and show back to, I used to shit myself when he
You
ran
were-
off that long
you-
one.
you
That was
were
done
packing
by
nuggets.
then. I was 36, mate. I had 4 kids. I'm trying to survive. And show back runs in making noises like a steam train. You are pooping your pants, mate. There's nothing wrong with being scared of fast bowling. I was comfortable with that.
Fair call.
1-1-1, Ol. That's your score update. Question number 2.
What's higher? Vaughany's Test match batting strike rate, Boof's first-class batting average, or Gilly's ODI half centuries? So, Vaughany's Test match batting strike rate, first class, or ODI half centuries?
I'm going to go my first class average.
First class average. Well, it's in the 50s, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, I reckon it was 50.
Yeah, I'm going with Boof.
What was it? What was the last one?
My ODI 50s.
Did you make more than 50-50s?
I'm going to go Gilly's 50s.
Okay. Gilly, you're looking Boof. So we've got Vaughany's Test match batting strike rate, 51.13. Boof's first-class batting average, 57.83. And Gilly had 55 half centuries. So yeah, Boof is the correct answer.
So did I hear that right? I hate to backtrack over all these, but did you say his strike rate was 51?
51, yeah, that's good. Good. Some of us had to dig in and face some fucking quick bowling at the start of the innings. Didn't hide down the back end.
What were you doing?
Jesus, you used to come in at 7, everyone's tired. Jesus.
Holy dear.
2-2-1, Ol, I think.
Beautiful. Yep. Number 3. Whose best bowling who had the best bowling figures in the first-class innings was more impressive, Vaughany or Boof? So who had the best BBI, best bowling innings in first-class cricket?
Vaughany.
Nah.
First class.
You must have got a 5 or 6 for.
Didn't.
No.
You didn't.
I'm going Vaughany, definitely.
I'm going. What you would have got a 4 for?
You
When
definitely
Vaughany.
got a 5 for.
No, I didn't get a 5 for.
No, I'm going to go
Oh,
Vaughany.
no, I might have done. No, did I?
I'm going to go Vaughany.
No. Did I? No, I'm going to go Buff.
Vaughany, 4 for 39. Boof, 4 for 35.
Hey, yes. Yes.
Who was unlucky to get 4 wickets? Who was that against?
You got 3 in a test against Zimbabwe, I reckon.
Oh, that was
at Perth.
that was when I was drinking.
And you were bowling the Buffra.
That's because I had the Achilles.
Yeah. You
The
were
Buffra came out
Yeah,
then, didn't
that was the exact game
Was
you were
that the
referring
day
to.
you were on the
Where the
sauce?
Gatorade bottle came out. It's got beer in it.
Why do you drink more when you're bowling?
I did.
Remember, I got a stumping off you and you're running out. That was the Buffra. That was the Buffra.
Don't worry about that Doosra stuff.
So we got, is it 2-2 for all three now? Yes, 2-2-2.
Yep.
2 to go.
Question number 4. What is higher, Boofs' first class 50s or Gilly's test match 6s?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
My first class 50s.
Oof.
First class 50s for Boof.
Well, you got one in
or
every
my
game, didn't
test
you?
match 6s.
Sorry, was it Gilly's 6s?
In test matches.
Test match.
Test matches.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
Gilly's 6s.
Yeah, you hit a few, didn't you?
Yeah,
You hit a few off Monty Panis, sorry.
No, I'm going Gilly's 6s.
I'm going to go Gilly 6.
I think I hit a quarter of my 6s in test cricket off left arm orthodox.
Yeah,
Dan Vittori and
they were
Monty
right in
Panis.
your art, weren't they?
I'm going to go, me. You played a lot of first class cricket though, Boof. And you scored a lot of runs.
Made a lot of hundreds.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
Not as many 50s.
Oh,
yeah.
you were he of the conversion type, were you?
Yes.
how many of your hundreds do you reckon were hung over?
I would have make 82 or something, so I'd say 70. Three tests.
Have we all gone Gilly 6s?
Yes.
Gilly 6s.
The answer is Gilly had 100 6s, Boof had 111 first class 50s.
Oh, that's a good effort.
Imagine if I converted a few more of those.
So 82 first class hundreds and 111.
That's a lot of runs.
You were good.
A lot of
You were good. I didn't know you were that
The
good.
exciting thing is we're all square with 1 to go,
Yeah.
boys.
Righto.
Final one, you're all together, is what is higher? Vaughany's runs in T20s, that's not internationals. Boof's balls faced in T20s, again, not internationals. Or Gilly's 4s in T20s. And this is obviously for the Big Bash. It's a special. So Vaughany's runs, Boof's balls faced, or Gilly's 4s.
Can't be my runs. I didn't play.
In T20s.
I'm going Gilly's. What was my
Fours.
I'm
Yours
going
was fours.
Gilly's 4s.
What was your balls face?
Well, what was mine, ball?
Yep, so it's Vaughany's runs, Boof's how many balls faced, and Gilly's 4s.
I didn't play much T20. I'm going Gilly's 4s.
Oh, I think the way that Ollie... I'm going to go me because I think he spreads the winners out, if you know what I mean.
You think you worked him out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I reckon it'd be Vaughany
Yeah.
anyway.
I reckon it might be me.
Yeah.
Vaughany.
And it won't be
Gilly.
many, but...
I'll go Gilly just to beat the other.
Okay. 2 Vaughanys and a Gilly, Al.
No one wants to take Boof for the win, okay? It's draw, we will go. Vaughany's runs in T20s was 319. Boof faced 323 balls. Gilly hit 296 4s. Boof faced the most balls. We haven't got a winner there.
Oh, so what happens now? Al, do we have a tie break or...
We have a tiebreaker. We do, and it's got nothing to do with T20 or any of you. It is about handling the ball. This week we saw Mushfiqur Rahim get out handling the ball, and against New Zealand. How many players before him had done it in Test cricket?
6.
7.
7, was it?
7.
Can't even raise a sweat in 6 minutes.
6, 7, 7.
Wasn't he the 7th?
I think it was the 8th.
Was he?
He was the 8th. That's correct. Another tiebreaker then. What year did Vaughany do it last?
2002.
So this is just between Gilly and Boof, right?
Correct.
Gilly and Boof. So what year? 2002?
2002.
What are you saying?
He's that confident. 2002?
You can't do that, Boof.
I can. It's a game. Play what's in front of you.
2002 from both of them.
2001 is the answer. The 6th person is Steve Waugh. What year did he do it against India?
2001.
That was India, wasn't it?
Yeah, Chennai.
Mate, I think this quiz is going
I
to go
don't think
until
you did
the
very
end.
well, Ol.
Joint winners. Well done, Boof and Gilly.
Congratulations. And your prize, a hat.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
I think Boof wins, given that he scored 70 centuries in first class cricket. I know.
Yeah.
Not bad. Goodness
Just
me.
on Mushfiqur Rahim, it was a hell of a handball.
I haven't seen it. What happened?
No, I haven't either.
He
Yeah.
plays a
Twice.
defensive shot and he bounces back and it's not even going towards the stumps. It's going, if you like, to gully kind of region. And he kind of just flicks it, flicks it away.
Didn't he do it like 2 balls
Yeah,
before
I read
as well?
somewhere that he-
And he sort of pretended to do it, and then he actually did it.
Yeah, it's,
Vaughany, what was yours again? Can you remind us?
Mine was a beauty. Sweeping, I think, against Harbourjan. And it kind of ballooned in the air and it was spinning. It wasn't going back on the stumps. So I just picked it up and threw it. And then Sachin at mid-wicket went, how's that?
Hey, Gil, there's only one thing left to do. And finally, we're all doing it in
yes.
person other than Ollie.
Exactly.
This is the
Talk
tradition,
amongst
Boof.
yourselves while I prepare this up.
We'll let Gilly explain. This is where the name comes from, Boof.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So,
Jordan Buckingham's got a 5 for guys.
And the Heat
there
won
you
last night.
they did. Congrats.
Yeah, they're pretty happy with the boys.
Jesus, that's
A little poor for me, Gil.
Yeah,
I'm only 3 years post-death.
Yeah, just a little
Yeah, thank you.
to celebrate your win last night. Oh, Prof, yours is a bit generous, mate. So, and yeah, the three drops of Tabasco at least.
If you're listening,
You're still doing this every night?
Yeah.
Gilly is just
Haven't had
pouring
COVID.
a prairie fire on the table
You haven't
here
had
for
COVID?
us.
I've had it a couple of times. You had it COVID a couple of times?
once.
I've had it a
Once that I
couple
know
of
of.
Yeah. It's getting easier.
But it's all in the name of fellowship and moderation. But, Buffer, thank you for joining us, mate.
cheers,
Here's
boys.
to you.
Cheers, boys. Cheers, Vaughany.
Congratulations
Gilly.
on those 70 hundreds. That's mind-blowing.
82, yeah?
There we go. There we go.
Goodness me. Well, that was Club Prairie Fire. All of us in person. I enjoyed that thoroughly, gents. Lots of fun.
Beats looking at a computer screen, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely.
Join us next time, Ollie.
Yeah, what are you doing? Next week, gents, you're in Perth
Yes.
for the test. That's
Yeah.
very exciting. I think Ollie and I will be calling in from Sydney, but I think the one after that we'll all be able to
Will
get
the
tickets.
test match last 5 days?
No.
No? Pick how many days,
No, I
boys.
don't think so.
I reckon the 4th morning.
Ooh, that's good. Boof?
If Pakistan bat first, day 3. If Australia bat, they'll get it the day 4.
Yeah, I think
Cool.
day 4. Sometime day 4 it'll finish. And just quickly, what's your Australian 11? It pretty well picks itself, doesn't it? Davey, Uzi,
They'll be as pretty much.
Marner, Smithy,
The big conjecture will be Marsh or
or Green.
Green.
Be Marsh, won't it?
gotta be
Marsh.
And then just the bowlers.
Just the
Are they going to
Carey
unleash
and the bowlers.
Lancey? No?
Nah.
No, not yet. We'll see him in the summer, though, won't we?
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think they'll have to chop and change it. You only get one chance to actually, get a play in here and there, and they need to start doing that because India and England are the big series, aren't they?
Yeah, particularly England, yeah.
Absolutely. Now, we are on next Wednesday. We'll do a
Well,
full...
not really. When's the last time we won a Test match in Australia?
Who, England?
Were you playing?
2011.
That's,
Was it
that's,
11?
that's
2012?
That's a good question, yeah.
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 Won. That's the last
Yeah.
time.
11
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
was.
A Test match.
Yeah.
That's a
They
long
got
time.
close on the last tour.
That Hobart. They dug in Hobart.
That draw in Sydney was
They
good.
were nearly there. By the way, day 1 we're at Gilly's house in Perth.
Remember it?
He's opening up the cellar.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, are you?
Oh, hey, we might book those flights.
Yeah.
I know we can't afford them, but we will.
Yeah.
Well, we're actually on Wednesday, so we'll do a full preview of that test leading into it.
Yes.
So do your research, boys. I know
Yeah.
you do. And we'll give everybody all the insight. Hey, that was Club Prairie Fire. We're on all summer. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow us on @Club Prairie Fire. That's Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll see you next week, gents.
Yeah.
Next
Adios.
week. Adios.
Adios.
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du.